So before I show you this video, I just want to give y'all some edification onto what happened. Basically, my girl, or my ex, however you want to look at it, is going through has family members that has things going on. I guess other people got mad and reported a whole bunch of crazy stuff. They reported that I was smoking meth. They reported that I was smoking drugs around babies. And they reported that I let sex offenders live in my house. So you all just seen that little, I'm about to show you a video explaining what's going on. And then after that, I'm going to give you bonus levels because actually that was my original video I was going to show today. But after that, some crazy stuff happened. So I just wanted to show to you guys that you need to be careful. Because one thing I want to edify, and I'm going to get the body cam footage. I'm a CNA, my mom's a registered nurse. We know all about these laws, especially dealing with HIPAA and psychology. This lady came into my house and demanded I take a drug test and all this other stuff and said that she was basically lying through her teeth. Because what she did was, she said, I have to take a drug test. And I said, you're asking me to take a drug test. And she's like, well, and started talking. Then I said, okay, I'd be happy to take a drug test because I don't do coke, meth, or none of that. And this is why I want to tell you influencers, anything can happen at any time. They're telling y'all to do shrooms and psychedelics and all this stuff. Even if weed's not legal, if weed wasn't legal in the state, you see what would have happened. That's why I tell people to be careful. In this video I'm about to show y'all is real. And I got the officers okay to show the video. Not only that, the officer de-escalated the situation when social services started to escalate it. I told this lady my mother's my power of attorney just to see what she would say. She says, I don't care about that. And if you don't comply with us, blah, 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 all this other stuff. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Then I told her I was a CNA and I worked in psych healthcare. Then I called my mom and put my mom on speakerphone. And I let my mom talk to her. And I said, yo, they're at my mom's right now. My car's been breaking down, stuff's going on, and so a lot's going on. Well, we got reports that you're doing drugs around kids and where your kids, they're involved. This lady told me my kids are now involved with a sex investigation. A fucking what? Y'all don't know nothing about my kids or where they're at. So that's why I try to tell y'all, know your rights and make sure you don't say stupid stuff. And in the midst of all this that had happened, then the lady, once my mom was on the phone, she said, well, we'll just get a warrant and come back. But you said you didn't care if I had a power of attorney. Now, is she my power of attorney? Right. See, people break the law all the time and don't realize they're either on camera or can get body cam footage. So you need to watch yourself and be safe. And thank you everybody else who sent a little bit of money. I really appreciate it. And I'm thankful that you sent that. My life has been out because this is a separate incident from the talking on videos. This is totally different. But in the midst of me talking, I said, lady, Patil just tried to diagnose me with depression. All this stuff is going on. My job fired me after telling me I should take their pills and stuff. And I said no. All this crazy stuff going on. Then all of a sudden, people are accusing me of doing drugs around babies. What did I get on here to do? Protect the children. Give life to the child. I will not bow. Give my life to the child. And then I'm being accused of harming children. So I kept telling people from DCFS, I advocate for what y'all do. Thank you. But at the same time, the way y'all investigate people and what y'all do in people's lives, y'all are liars. They tried to do to me just now what the hospital did. So my mom told me to tell them to get out of my house. I talked to the cop through the door until I knew it was safe. And then the cop, who was the only one de-escalating the situation, helped de-escalate the situation. The irony, right? So, enjoy.
Particular situation that I read it and I'm like, what is going on here? So, it is very like, and it's nobody's out here to specifically target you and get you upset or anything like that. It's about basically going and hitting all the marks and making sure that they get it properly documented. As far if you are not indicated in this case, nobody can know this information. This is all confidential. Yes, it's in the state's database, but unless you are indicated on something, they cannot tell your employer. And here's the thing: the employer has to specifically get that information. It's not like DCFS is going to be at every place that you're going to. He's got something on him. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like that. So, but she's going to hopefully bring that test back down here.
No, yeah, it's just because like when y'all said y'all wanted me to take the test, that wasn't the problem. I'm like, yeah, meth, that's crazy. It was.
If you have cannabis, cannabis is not the issue.
Yeah, because that's legal too. So.
Not cocaine.
Right.
Not meth.
All that, not any of that. I don't care.
About cannabis. They don't care about none of that.
Yeah. So. But yeah, it was just when they were talking about I was holding babies, smoking meth and stuff.
I'd be triggered because somebody accused me of something. They can only go by what's put in the report. And
okay.
They're just telling you what it is. you want to know what somebody's alleging against, you know what I mean? It'll make you mad, but they're gonna, she's coming back here with, I used to have tests in my car. If I had one, I'd give it to you.
Okay.
But they got frozen and I don't trust them. So
Okay.
once they get frozen, yeah, you don't want to use them.
And then I can just come out here.
I appreciate you giving her a feedback.
And you're not.
She got flustered and left her shit. So.
From my knowledge, you're not on the camera. It's just like facing.
I don't care.
So.
You want to record me? I'm recording everything that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So you want to record anything? Hey, whatever.
Okay.
I have to I pretend I'm like I'm on TV all the time. So.
That's all they show on these shows nowadays. It's like cop shows anyway. So
what you want to do is get this thing nasty, sticky, wet. Okay, there's gonna be like a sponge. If it gets to the point where it's not filling up real good, I'm just gonna have you spit right into the test.
This is the one that we opened, okay?
okay.
It's just,
Okay.
I'll pick it up.
Oh, sorry. Here, you put this here. This thing right here will turn red. When it starts to get good and sopped up,
So it's just in my mouth, or?
Yeah, just put it in your mouth. Go ahead and stick it in your cheek. Put it under your tongue. Swab up as much disgusting saliva as you can get, okay? And once you do that, we're going to put that in here. It might take a minute, so don't, so all I say is once you start filling that sponge up, just don't squeeze out anything back out, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you want to.
He'll have to spit in there too. When he gets done with that, he'll have to spit in there a couple times.
Okay.
You gotta hold it in there for a while,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Here, man, if you want. Does it matter if you just start spitting in this now?
No, you have to wait till that's done.
Okay.
Well, I see something turning red, but I don't.
Yeah, it'll be a minute. You just take your time. If you want to sit, you can, or whatever. So, anyway. Somebody's smoking.
Yeah, you can see that there's actually a hole where everything radiates out.
Sometimes if you stick it under your tongue, it stimulates your saliva gland and you start going, ugh. I don't want you to start freaking gagging out, but sometimes if you make it a little uncomfortable, it sort of. You got 2 kids?
The lady flew out at 11:25 this morning,
I think, I'll be honest with you,
5 hours.
I think that somebody just took a bunch of mud and started throwing it at the wall to see what would stick. So,
Smoke. I'm in a registry of healthcare registry for being a CNA dude. I have no charges.
Nobody wants to jam you up. It's just that sadly that somebody knew somebody who knew somebody. Like you said, these are friends of your exes.
I don't know. That has to do with a whole nother.
Whole other crew. Because I think do they live up the road?
So the best thing I can say is like you're cooperating, so like that's showing like, hey, I'm innocent, I have nothing to prove, like my kids are safe and they're well taken care of, like I know everything that is saying on this report is untrue, and so you cooperating is just saying to us like, hey, I'm willing to cooperate, I know these things are false, like help me, like let us help prove your innocence.
And then when they say they want to see your kids, all they want to do is literally lay eyes on your kids and say, we saw them. They didn't look like there was anything wrong with them. And that's the bottom line. I know it's intrusive.
I could give you my mom's number and she can do all that because I lost my transportation recently, both cars. So
I got you. Let's have a look at that sponge and see how it's doing. Flip it over for me real quick. Yeah, it's not quite there. You spit right it. Yeah, there you go.
And I totally understand this is super frustrating. Like you were hearing all these false things about you, and so I get that part's really frustrating. But also it's all confidentiality. So like if someone were to say, hey, like I want this information on this, we legally can't give that out. So.
And that's why it's problematic when you have somebody on the phone. Granted, you give permission for that person to overhear, but it doesn't absolve the state from saying, we don't just put out this information, because there were other people involved too. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a keep working on it. You'll get there. that thing will turn red. Looks like is it turning red? There's these little.
I see 2 red lines, but I don't know if that
Yeah,
has
they
any-
should be. Turn that over for me real quick. Let's have a look. It's turning a little bit pink. Just keep working on it.
I'm
We'll be
gonna
out
leave
here.
you this with that, and then I'm gonna look at this.
Who else is down there?
A bunch of them that's on the list.
I should have made this the other house the problem. Sorry. So what'll happen is once that fills up and you get enough spit, these little tabs will get wet with your spit and they'll start going up. And then there's little control lines, and then there's little lines that will indicate that it's if one of the lines doesn't light up, that means that it's positive. You know what I'm saying? So every one of these should be basically 2 lines with the exception of THC.
Okay.
Unless you've had any alcohol recently, but
Mm-mm.
that shouldn't populate. I hate leaving when people are amped up and stuff. I like to try to
De-escalate.
de-escalate and have a conversation about realistic expectations and things like that. They have 60 days to close out the case. They can close it out as early as 30. Okay. They will send you, if I'm not sure how you're included in the report. Since you're not the main person on the report, they're not really looking at you per se. But they will send out a letter that says you are either indicated or weren't indicated. But it doesn't. I don't think that you're, like I said, you're listed as just a person who lives here. You're not listed as the caregiver of the kids in particular that are theoretically, I don't know. I only know some of this shit. How's it looking? Is it starting to turn red there?
I don't know. It's like totally sopped with spit, though. It's like coming off of it. It's so much sopped with spit.
Well, to stick that in there and just push it down. You don't want to lock it in. Well, there's some in there, but what I like to do is tilt this thing over and let it run to each of the tabs.
Yeah.
Some of these folks will start shaking it. Well, I don't like adding extra air if I don't have to. Tell you what. Pull that up, start spitting in there. Yuck. You'd be surprised how many people get really like gagged out by it.
Sorry, Cottonmouth.
That's alright. When was the last time you smoked?
Weed?
Yeah.
Probably a little bit earlier.
So you probably, yeah, you'll have that. Alright, stick that back on there.
Alrighty.
And start. Hopefully you put enough in there.
You were the one that was de-escalating. Hey, you're not the so. No, that's real life logic. I'm not gonna take anything else for that. I witnessed it. You're the cop, and you were the one de-escalating. That's hilarious.
Well, I try to. I've been doing this for 25 years, almost. Almost 25, 24 and a half years I've been talking to folks. You know, I wasn't always good at it. You pin that little badge on you, think you're a little badass. Sometimes you want to just run your mouth and, you know, not always, but sometimes people get your goat and you just, rather than go the other way and say, hey man, I just want to talk, let's have a conversation. Don't try to start, saying, "Oh, I can do this." Dude, I don't lie to people. If I don't have enough to do something to somebody, I ain't gonna do it.
Right.
You're getting some of these tabs are starting to fill. Looks like meth is filling up. It's filling up, meaning it's populating. It doesn't
Right.
mean I mean, there's no indication that you're using. It's just indicating that it's filling up. That's
Okay.
our main concern. I may have you add a little more spit to it.
Okay.
I would think this would be enough. But fill up the. See, that's the thing about the problem I have with these sponges is that sometimes you don't know how much you're getting and how long it's going to take. I had a lady one time put this thing in her mouth. It was in there for 10 seconds, and it was ready to go. I never seen it happen that fast. She had it filled up.
Probably a little bit harder for a weed smoker.
That probably. Your name's Juan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what. Just put a little more in there.
Okay.
And I say, because the sponge here is already turning red. Just keep doing it. I don't care how much is in there.
Okay.
And I understand your mom doesn't want you to do anything that you can incriminate yourself or whatever like that.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, she wanted me to stand outside the door and.
No,
Or
I don't
she wanted me to
care.
stand
If you
within the
wanna
door.
stand there and have a conversation, I don't-
No, I mean she wanted me to stand behind the screen. She told me that I shouldn't even let. She said I shouldn't open the door and let you guys
Hey,
in.
you know
which-
what? I don't disagree with her to a certain respect. I mean, you have rights, right? I mean, nobody denies you have rights. This is all voluntary compliance. This isn't about, me going and, look, you have a right to your privacy. You have a right if you don't want me in your house, we can have a conversation. Preferably the conversation happens, but if you want to have it happen out here, so be it. A lot of the stuff that with DCFS is voluntary. Some of it, if they have enough, they get enough evidence that later on that may say, well, this is bad for kids, whatever. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. What we're doing is, it looks like you're negative for meth. Surprise. Bottom line is, they want to take a picture of this. Okay, I think we're done. Instead of farting around with not squeezing this down. Squeeze it down. Yeah, there should be plenty in there. She may have paperwork. I don't know if she has paperwork to give you, since you're not the actual person that the report came in on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she'll have paperwork for you. But you do have my card. Investigator is Leander Tate.
Okay.
And if you do want body cam, you certainly can ask for it. There's a guy named Chad Gordy in our office. He will send it to you.
It certainly wouldn't be for you because, like I told you, I work in healthcare and my mom's a registered nurse. And a couple of the things we say for a purpose. And when I said that she was my partner, when I told her that she was my power of attorney and she said that she did not care, legally she broke a lot of laws just there now. So.
Well, I don't know as far as.
I'd rather not talk about it. I respect you.
Hey, we don't have to. We disagree. Ain't no biggie.
Unless a person is actually like under arrest. I mean, an investigation is a different story, but that's why people say they don't want. She said out of her.
You have a right to say no. I don't
Well,
want to talk to you. You have that right. Nobody said it.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because the reason I said it is because she said out of her own mouth, then I'll come back and get a warrant. And so with her saying she'll come back and get a warrant, she obviously cares that I have a power of attorney. She just spoke hastily.
Well, what they're usually talking about is called a shelter care warrant. And really what they have to do is they have to have probable cause. This is just between you and me. in order for them to get well, it's not technically, it's a little less than probable cause is what you need to make an arrest.
Mm-hmm.
A preponderant, well, no, actually, basically it's probable cause. So in order for you to take someone's kid into care, you have to have something called probable cause. Okay, the probable cause has to meet a certain amount of proof. Let's say we have evidence, like let's say we go to a house. We go to a house, and there's been like 6 domestic violence situations at this house. They've given them full disclosure. You don't have any more domestic violence, we're taking your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They say, so we say, hey, bring out your kids. We're taking them with us. They say pound sand. We would stand here. They would go down to the state's attorney and swear out a shelter care warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Then while I'm standing here, they would come back. Here's the shelter care warrant. Okay, it has the address listed on there. Okay, I'm coming in. So open up. We're taking the kids. You get that? I mean, it's not. We're talking about protecting kids. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not. This isn't you. This is just.
No, yeah. It's just that sometimes while protecting people, other people can be harmed. Because recently I've worked in psych care for 10 years. And I went to go to the hospital to talk to a therapist about something very particular. Mm-hmm. And when I went there and began talking to them, somebody from Heritage came out of nowhere and said they were going to involuntary me. Well, with all the knowledge that I know, I told her, you're going to need a court order to involuntary me because I haven't been violent, I haven't been dissociated, and I'm not delusional. I have given you no reason to think that I will cause myself and others harm. This lady had security stand in front of the door, and when they moved, I tried to walk out of the hospital, and the security body slammed me, and I woke up in the hospital with a turtle suit. That mugshot is now on the internet, and I have no charges, but it won't be removed off the internet until I get an attorney.
Is this was the picture on the Macon County Sheriff's website or something?
No, it's on a bond site. Or how should I say? When somebody has to pay bond, they have to they take your picture or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was the sheriff's site specifically because it was random websites. A buddy of mine came up to me at work when I initially found out my picture was on the internet. He said, "Hey, bro, why you in a turtle suit? You looking like a Ninja Turtle." I was like, "What does that mean?" Because I didn't know about. I mean, I work in that type of, but I didn't even know about these newer turtle suits and all that stuff. So you don't use those in nursing homes anymore on restraints and stuff. So I went online, and as soon as you type my name in, it's right there. Haven't been able to find a job for 3 months. That's why with all this going on, I was really confused. I was like, okay, I just got beat up by the system once. What's going on?
Yeah,
so,
well, like I said, no. This is the thing. Everybody thinks, oh, DCFS wants to take your kids. DCFS does not. You may have an opinion. Several people have an opinion. A lot of people that have kids in care, they think that's what DCFS wants. They do not. They do not. These workers out here, they're doing their best to keep up with the reports that come in because they come in and they got a ton of casework.
mm-hmm.
The last thing that they need is to be coming in and taking somebody's kids because it burdens them. They have to basically, there's a huge process. Anybody that believes that should come and be an investigator and see whether or not they want to take your kids. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, and I'm thankful for DCFS. They do a great job. Actually, on my social media, I'm kind of an influencer, but on my social media, they that's one of my messages in my descriptions. I will not bow, protect the child. I am who I am. I am Simeon. I am the one who frees or binds whom I will. You shall have no gods before who I am. And what I'm doing when I do that is teaching people about the word and spirit. I'm just essentially telling them that no matter what they believe in, you have what's real, and you should be careful the words you deliver in your heart because then it can manifest into outer things.
Right.
I'll give you an example of corruption. Not from the institution, not from you all's perspective, but now citizens. Maybe somebody's mad at her and they're telling you all this stuff. Well, now my name is implicated in all this, and because of citizens' corruption, now I have to deal with the whole process, and you all are just trying to protect children. You know what I mean? So corruption.
Nobody, look, I get it, man. If somebody hotlined me for no good reason, or I happen to be, I think this situation for you, and I'll be honest, is a situation of guilt by association. You have an ex-girlfriend who has friends that are up to no good.
Yeah, because I can see if we were still together, that's what. But us recently breaking up, and this is happening, it's like, okay.
Now, is this ex-girlfriend your kid's?
No.
Your kid's mom?
No.
Is it some other girl?
Yeah, it's just a girl.
So you're the baby. Your children's mother has
nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. She was asking me names I don't like. She was asking me all kind of names. I don't know who none of those people were. I don't.
Well, so far you're looking like you're good for just cannabis. Now the PCP's got to populate, but I don't think they're going to be positive there either.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't hear too many people using angel dust.
No.
It looks like it's going. It looks like it's going to be negative too. Obviously, the control line. The control line isn't populating on the MTD, but it shows the negative line is showing that it's negative. See the bottom line. If the bottom line lights up, it means you're negative. If the top line doesn't populate, that just means it's possibly a bad test. Meaning not a bad test for you, meaning the test has got some fault. So far, all the other ones have populated. Oh shit. See there? That's the control line. That just means that the test is valid.
Mm-hmm.
This just means that these are negative. Okay, you're negative on PCP. See there? That top. If this is blank,
So
if it is blank, it means that you're. It means that you're positive for THC. Nobody gives a shit about THC.
okay.
Right now, you're not in the care of kids anyway.
Right.
So, THC is legal. So they have no. Do you need anything from me? I'm gonna take this down there and show this to them. Can I wash my hands?
No, yeah, go ahead.
COVID's going around.